Do you have what it takes to be on the UWF dance team? Are you interested in rock climbing and other outdoor activities? Are you interested in helping preserve the natural environment? Are you interested in what the nursing program has to offer? Do you wonder what it's like to be involved with SGA here at the University of West Florida? The Escambia County Animal Shelter is one of the many shelters here in Pensacola.
I came to University of West Florida about 1.5 years ago to be the Student Activities Coordinator. So that means that I work with most of the major programs on campus, and primarily I advise the Homecoming Executive Board and the Campus Activity Board. For the CAB Executive Board, anyone and everyone can apply. And there's chair positions and management positions, which are the executive leaders of the board. And those applications they're actually open right now. They're online, ready to be filled out for anyone and everyone who wants to plan events on campus. Swiping is extremely important at all of our events because that's how we track attendance, which from an administrative perspective is extremely important, and knowing how many people and who those people were, which when we swipe your Nautilus card, it does tell us who you are. For our Campus Activity Board, most of our schedule is set a semester in advance. So right now, our schedule that we're currently doing right now this spring was set way back last fall. In fact, the event that's happening this Thursday was booked in October of last year. So these are pretty far out planned events, and that's because so much goes into them. We really value putting on professional level events with unique things that our student populations particularly enjoy. I think they have their thumb on the pulse of what this campus really responds well to and what they don't. We try and have all of our ducks in a row, everything written down and planned out in advance so that to eliminate as many unexpected things as possible.
Campus activities last all semester long at UWF. If you ever want to get involved, CAB is a great way to start. I'm Sarah Egan's, reporting for Argo News. Outdoor Adventures encompasses the rock wall, the sailing boat. We go sailing every Saturday that there's good weather. And then we also do all the outdoor trips. So we do things like camping at Fort Pickens. For spring break, we're going skiing in Killington, Vermont. We do canoeing, swimming with the manatees, and like a ton of other stuff. The trips and stuff are really cool. Not only do I get to work them, but I can also attend them because I am a student. And then obviously our rock wall is amazing. But the most exciting part for me really is the people. I'm a people person, and everyone here is so welcoming, and honestly the whole climbing community and outdoor community as a whole, everyone's really encouraging and really helpful, and they want to teach people. They're excited to get other people involved in what we do. So say you're in the rock wall and you're climbing a route you've been working for a week or even weeks, and people know that you're doing that because they come in here and they see you working it persistently. And then when you get it, the excitement from everyone else is so encouraging. If you like rock climbing, sailing, camping, or anything the Outdoor Adventures has to offer, don't hesitate to join. As the staff here says, Kaiusa. This is Sarah Egan's, reporting for Argo News.
C stands for the Student Environmental Action Society. Our mission statement is to promote environmental awareness both on the University of West Florida campus and in the surrounding Pensacola community. And we also do different types of environmental cleaning projects as well. I'm an environmental science major with environmental management as my background. So when I came to the University of West Florida as a freshman, I wanted to obviously get into a club that started to do volunteer in the field that I was studying. So I found C's and I started volunteering with them, and I always just had a lot of fun. Always fun on the weekends and stuff. And then just as the years went by, I went from being a member to treasurer to now being president. A few of the things we're doing off campus at least once or twice every month, we go out to the Pensacola beach and we're removing an invasive plant called beach vitex, or Vitex rotundifolia. We've been working with Sea Grant, Florida on that. We also help restore salt marshes and coastal ecosystems with the Florida Department of Environmental Protection. On campus, we do bi-weekly trail cleanups, both on the Edward Ball Nature Trail and just cleaning up the campus itself. Last semester, we did an environmental awareness project called Save the Whales, where we were set up in the Canyon Grains and we made people aware of seismic air gun testing and its impact on whales and dolphins. And then we also go on socials, like this weekend, we're going to Florala State Park in Alabama, and we're going to be volunteering and staying the weekend as like a little social event as well. Our club is growing a lot. We've been getting a lot of new people, and people are having a lot of fun doing it. We make it a lot of fun. At the same time, if you're here mainly for the environment, we make it very professional. We want people to know that we're very serious and we're very educated on the things that we talk about. We don't just go out there and just speak our minds, pointing fingers at people. And I'm always trying to find new volunteer things. The more people we can get, the more justification they can get to go on farther, more exciting trips.
If SEAS is something that interests you, don't hesitate to get involved and help preserve our natural environment for future generations. I'm Sarah Agins, reporting for Argo News.
As far as what I do here, I know, for an example, I'm in the back, so therefore I do a lot of the things like with the departments. That's what I do with most. We do HP print billing from like students, but usually we just deal with the departments from all over campus. We provide button services, printing services, quarters, a lot of customer service here. We do faxing, we make copies sometimes. We also have a laminating machine back here. We do that too as well. It's a lot of hands-on things here. I know people always be like, oh, we're just sitting at the desk. No, we do way more than that. It's a lot that goes on back here. Things sometimes get hectic up here, especially around lunchtime. Like, so many people come up here and they're asking for 50 different things, and you deal with a lot of different personalities up here, so you have to be mindful of, like, okay, everybody's not gonna be like me, so I can't just go crazy for 1 second if I lose my cool. That's one big thing up here, like, because of so many different people come up here every day. We have a lot of opportunities for people to work here. I feel like this job will open a lot of doors for whatever major it may be.
The staff at the service desk are on hand to provide students and the public with general information about the university and the University Commons and Student Involvement Office. You can reach the service desk at 850-474-2406. I'm Sarah Agins, reporting for Argo News.
The traditional BSN program is a pre-licensure program. You must apply to it. It's limited access, meaning not everyone will get in even if you declare the major and are accepted at UWF. When you do get into the program, it is what you call nursing school. You will learn everything from how to take a temperature to how to take care of a patient to the extents of what you will be as a registered nurse. Upon completion of the program, 62 credit hours, then you are eligible to sit for your NCLEX exam, which is a board, and upon passing that, then you become a registered nurse with a Bachelor's of Science degree. The room we're in here today is our simulation center. So in this room, the students will go through different simulations, role-playing per se, of different situations that they will come across or may not come across in real life. And it's to help the student build their confidence and knowledge base of what they would do in a particular situation. You're culminating, bringing together all of the different pieces that you've been learning through your prerequisite courses, through your nursing courses of, if this situation comes up, how do I handle it? You know, you could be looking at lab reports, you could be looking at drug interventions, you could be looking at many different things. So in simulation in this room, that's where we practice those things. All students also, almost every course has a clinical component. And so while they're here in the campus, they will learn the skills needed for that particular course level, and then they will actually go into the local hospitals under the supervision of a registered nurse, master's prepared or higher, and they will practice as a student in the hospital setting. So their first semester, they're touching live people. So it is very intense, and the reality is we are dealing with people's lives. So in here on the campus, we're building your confidence, and then in the real world, you're applying it. Each student has a different component that excites them or naturally drives to them. Many of them thrive in simulation. Many of them, it's usually the clinical component, because that's when you think of a nurse in the hospital or the bedside or what have you. You don't think of a nurse in a classroom studying and getting lectured to. So that's the place that most students really start thriving, and you put all the pieces together that you've been learning for the past 2-3 years to get to there. If you are thinking of nursing or not sure if it's for you, just remember it's not about the paycheck. Yes, the jobs are there, and yes, they pay well, but if you don't love what you're doing, it's not worth doing it.
The nursing program here at the University of West Florida provides nursing students with a stimulation center and clinical skills. I'm Sarah Agins, reporting for Argo News.
SGA is pretty much where we work for the student body. We get elected, we hold positions. It depends, because we have 3 branches. We have our legislative, executive, and judicial. Executive is what I'm on, and pretty much we go through, we try to do like write out Wednesdays. We even have, like for my position, we do freshman committee, where freshmen come in and we select 20, the top 20. And throughout the whole semester, in the fall and spring, we help them out, figure out what type of leaders they are within UWF, within SGA. And most of them do go on and become senators later on and run for elections. So pretty much we're here for the students. If a student has a problem, they can come to us and we'll try to help them out. We might write out resolutions, we might have bills go on the floor for students. It's really a big deal here. For senator, we are having elections actually right now. And we go through the process. You got to get a certain amount of signatures. You got to get approved. And then you also have to turn in a budget on how much you spent during it. For me, the exciting part is like getting to build relationships, be able to become a stronger leader on campus. If someone is interested in going through it, should just come up to the office. We're in the Commons upstairs. It says SGA on our thing, so it's pretty easy to find. If you're interested for any position, someone will sit down, talk with you. There's positions for anyone. So we look for people that are creative, we look for people that are really organized, hardworking. We'll figure out your niche within SGA.
The University of West Florida Student Government Association will lead with integrity to build trust, promote pride, and ensure a united voice for all students. I'm Sarah Agins, reporting for Argo News.
The manager of the Escambia County Animal Shelter, which is also, we call it services, but it's basically a shelter. We're housing animals that are taken in from residents of Escambia County, either they're strays or through people that surrender their animals, things like that, to the shelter. Dogs and cats specifically, we do handle some other type of animals, but mostly dogs and cats. We're not very strict on how we adopt out. We look for, if they have a history of issues or things like that, then that's something that we are checking on. But in the grand scheme of things, if you come in and you want to take an animal from the shelter and give it a home, we're going to adopt it out to you. We give you a lot of information, and we have a lot of expectations for adopters, but we don't have the strict requirements that you see through some of the rescue organizations and things like that. It's just too difficult to do for us, for the volume that we need to move through. And secondly, we think a lot of times it's better to adopt that animal to a home that has a good chance of success, as opposed to letting that animal stay here and end up getting euthanized because we just don't have the space. So there's a lot of things that we skip, but we try to spend a lot of time educating. If we feel like somebody's not going to be a good adopter, we're going to dissuade them from doing that. If we are a municipal facility that takes in a lot of animals, and one of the issues that you get into is that you do run out of space. And when you don't have space, something's got to give. But if we put an animal in adoption, we are going to evaluate it constantly. If there's reasons that it's not getting adopted, it's not getting selected, I don't want a very adoptable animal that's sitting behind it to not get a chance to, that's waiting to get out because that one's taken up an adoption kennel. Sometimes we'll pull them off the adoption floor and reassess them and see if we've got an opportunity to put them with a foster, or somebody here can rehab them and help them if they're having stress issues or things like that. Our goals for the public are, again, to make sure that they are adopting from reputable organizations. If they adopt from other rescues, make sure that that animal is properly cared for, that it is spayed and neutered, that it has its proper vaccinations, things like that. If they're bringing an animal to the shelter, any information that they can give us about that animal that will help its ability to be adopted, that we need to know it. And any shot records, things like that, bring them with you, because all that helps, you know, when you're evaluating for adoption. If you know all that information beforehand, it helps.
Thanks to the Escambia County Animal Shelter, these animals now have a safe place to stay with food and shelter until they are ready to be adopted. I'm Sarah Agins, reporting for Argo News.